Hello! This is not my first video, but catch me doing the booktube newbie tag like 10 videos in. It's fine. I don't know why I didn't do this for my first video because this is like basically what I talked about in my first video, but it's fine. We all start somewhere. Anyways, I'm going to be doing the booktube newbie tag today and I have not prepared for it at all, so get ready for a rambling mess. That's fine. Everything's fine. So question one is why... I need to stop spinning. I'm sorry. So question one is, why did you start this channel? I basically started a booktube channel because I realized that I've read like 10 books this year and I could not remember any of them whenever I tried to think about what books I'd read. And then I was like, wow, it's been so long since I've read half the books on my bookshelf and I don't remember so much about what I liked about them or what I didn't like about them. So it kind of started as a way for me to have a place to just chronicle what I'm reading as I'm reading it, what I think about it. And also I realized that the booktube community is also like a thing and I wanted to get more involved because I don't have that many book friends, I guess. Like, I've had friends who I can talk to maybe like one or two particular books about, but never somebody who's just like read all the books I've read. And there's a lot of those people on booktube, so I thought I'd like try to find more people because I need somebody to rant about books at 3 a.m. with me. So if you want to be that person, comment, I guess. I don't know. This is a cry for help. So question two is, what are some fun, unique things that you can bring to booktube? Honestly, I feel like in today's day and age, there's just so much content in so many places that if I try to put the pressure on myself to be original or be unique or be funny instead of just doing like what I want to do, then it's gonna be a lot of unnecessary pressure and I'm just gonna like flop and not do anything. So if something comes out of this that is unique and original, all the better, but the real reason I'm doing this is just for me to chronicle something. So everybody is obviously unique in their own way, so whatever I do is going to be different from somebody else, but I'm not really focusing on trying to do something different from everybody at every step of the way. Like, I might do a lot of tags, I might do a lot of just stuff that's fun. I don't know, like, who knows, you know? Who knows? I don't know. I can't read the future. Question three, what are you most excited about for this new channel? Honestly, just like meeting a bunch of people because from like the past few weeks that I've just been on booktube, and also like I finally got back on Twitter after like 2 years, but I found a bunch of people on book Twitter that are super cool that I'm excited to get to know. So if you're new or if you're old, if you're new to booktube or new to book Twitter, or if you've been on there for a long time and you're just interested in meeting new people, then let me know down below as well, because I think that's what I'm excited about the most. Question four, why do you love reading? Why do you have to give me such loaded questions? I don't understand. I've just always loved reading. It was something that my mom emphasized from a very young age. She would read to me when I was really little. And actually, fun fact, I have this little trophy from when I lived in Canada. I was like 2 years old in 2002, but I got this trophy because my mom put me in some sort of summer reading program where I think like the mom and the kid would read together or something, and I don't know if it was probably like a participation trophy, but I like to show people this because I'm like, I've been reading since I was in the womb. But yeah, anyway, I've just always loved reading, and especially when I moved to Texas, I was the only Indian kid, the only Muslim kid in my town. I didn't really relate to anybody. I didn't have very many friends, and so reading was just kind of something for me to do to fill the time because I had a lot of free time as a kid. I was an only child. I'm still an only child, and I just didn't do very much other than read. I would just go to the library and I would check out like boxes and boxes of books at once. I would check out like 20 to 30 books each time I went, and I would read them all within a week or like a week and a half, and then take them all back and start all over again. And eventually it got to the point where I had to start ordering books from like other larger libraries because in my small town we only had so many books in the YA section, and I like only ever read YA. Like the entire time growing up I read like a little bit of mid-grade, like obviously Percy Jackson and stuff like that, but for the most part I was in the YA section from the day I stepped foot in the library, and that's like all I read. So yeah, it's nice to branch out. That's a whole different question, but basically I've always loved to read, and it's just something that's been a part of my life for my entire life. Question five, what book or series got you into reading? This is not even a question. Obviously, Harry Potter. Harry Potter was probably the first series I remember reading. I've been watching the Harry Potter movies with my parents because I realized when I came home that they had never watched all of them all the way through, and so they had a lot of missing gaps, and I was like, how have you lived in the same house else as me and not watched all the Harry Potter movies. Like, I don't know how this has happened. We need to fix this immediately. And so we just started from the top and went all the way through. If you've seen my Owls vlogs, you've probably seen like the little clips of the movies. But we just finished Deathly Hallows Part 2 this weekend. I don't even know where I was going with this anymore. Book or series got you into reading Harry Potter. Okay. Basically, I had the revelation that Deathly Hallows Part 2 came out in 2011, meaning I had experienced the entirety of meaning I had experienced the entirety of the Harry Potter universe, books and movies, by the time I was 11, and actually 10, because I didn't turn 11 until October, and I think it came out before that. So basically, I was 10 years old by the time I was like fully invested in Harry Potter, had seen all the movies, watched all the books like so many times. And that's crazy to me because 11 or 10 in my mind is just like so small, and to think that I was already so invested in this universe at that age. Like, it was just such a big part of my life. Like, if anybody asked me what my favorite book was, it was Harry Potter. Favorite movie? Harry Potter. Like, I mean, I didn't own the books until literally a few years ago. I just read them in the library, but like Harry Potter has always been such a big part of my life. And like to this day, if like Hogwarts comes on the screen or like the music plays, I like start crying. Like, we played the Hogwarts theme song for my senior year band concert in high school, and I started crying when it ended because it's just such like a overall part of my life, I guess. 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? For this one, I think I have already noticed, even though I haven't been watching or participating in booktube that long, that there is this kind of sense of, I'm not saying competition, but also this drive to like read all the newest books as soon as they come out and to own all the newest books. And I feel like those are just some underlying issues. Like, I understand supporting authors, and that's like a whole thing I won't go into. But basically, like, how do you feel about this kind of atmosphere that has come up in today's community, I guess, just all around like consumerism? And I'm just yelling out broad terms at this point. Just give me advice on how you deal with this kind of atmosphere of having to buy and own and read all the newest books, because I honestly just personally have not read a lot of the books that are popular on booktube right now. And so there's this sense of like, oh, what if my content is not relevant? But then I have to keep reminding myself that I'm not doing this to be relevant. I'm really just putting stuff that I read onto the screen to share. So anyways, that's my question. Question 7 is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? And I think just along that same vein is not worrying about relevancy, not worrying about followers and subscribers. Like, right now I'm probably at like 19, and 19 doesn't seem like a lot of people. Like, I know if I had 19 people in my room, like, that would be a lot of people, but it doesn't seem like that much. And sometimes I'm like, am I just like talking at a camera that nobody's gonna watch? But like, I have to keep reminding myself that it's not about how many people are watching this, it's about me having a place to put my thoughts down. It's like me just writing stuff down, except I'm talking about it because sometimes that's faster. So question number 8, when did you start reading? In the womb. This is backwards. In the womb. Also 2002 probably is, I don't know when I started reading like words from my mouth. I'd have to ask my parents. I've just been read to for a really long time. Question 9, where do you read? Literally everywhere. If you're asking in my house, I'll read on the floor in a chair that my parents got me. That's my current favorite spot right now. I'll like stick a picture on the couch, mostly on the floor just because I start reading whenever and I'm already on the floor, so I'll just do that. But if we're talking about the grand scheme of things, I will literally read anywhere. I almost always have a book on me. I have pulled out a book at a Wiz Khalifa concert before because he was opening for Fall Out Boy. I don't like rap music. I don't like Wiz Khalifa. He was throwing inflatable joints around the crowd. I was like 13, and so I just pulled out a book and started reading, and my friend had a picture of it. I don't know where it is at this point, but if I find it, I'll show you guys. But yeah, I've read a book at a Wiz Khalifa concert. I've read a book in the pit at an All Time Low concert. I've read a book in the pit at Austin City Limits. So my only concern is them getting squished or like bent, because I hate bending pages on my books, but I will still almost always have a book on me because you never know when conversation gets boring, conversation doesn't happen. I'm not great at starting conversations in the first place, so I like to have like a little cop out that's not my phone, and reading is just much more productive for my time, I guess. 10, what kinds of books do you like to read? I started with a lot of fantasy and a lot of dystopian, and I tend to burn myself out on genres, which is not good. I'm just recently getting back into fantasy after a huge hiatus, during which I missed like so many big fantasy series. I have not read any Holly Black, I have not read any Sarah J Maas. Like, I'm missing big holes of fantasy books in my reading repertoire. I don't know how to say the word. How do you say this word? Tell me how to say this word. I like using big words. I don't know how to say them because I've only ever read them, so just reader problems. Anyway, I love fantasy, I love dystopian, even though they get kind of repetitive. I recently got into contemporaries and historical fiction, which has been really interesting because I never read that growing up, and I think now, like, it's a lot more interesting for me just to see where all of the historical points connect. And I love seeing fiction set in historical worlds because it's like, what if this had happened back then? Like, it's fun to just imagine these things, and I love doing that. So contemporaries, historical fiction, current favorites. I've read a few memoirs. I don't love them, but some of them can be good, and I'm recently getting into poetry. So anyway, that was my booktube newbie tag, and if you are like me and you've already started your channel and you have not done the booktube newbie tag yet, I tag you because better late than never. So yeah, if you guys liked this video, then you can go ahead and like, tell me what you thought down below, and subscribe to my channel because I will be posting more videos very soon. I will see you guys later.